by the way, if you didn't manage to get it from the last one, because I'm making cuts in this arbitrarily. There's no starting or stopping point with these. I'm just talking, whatever. But by the way, I am hella bi, if you hadn't noticed. Oh my goodness. Is this a coming out video? Not really. I've been out on my channel like forever. I just don't know if anyone's noticed. But since I'm talking about this anyways, I should probably just make a whole big thing out of it and just go back to the beginning. Or whatever people do in these sorts of things. I don't know. What's the usual format? This wasn't something that I really thought a lot about when I was younger. Like, I had a lot of crushes when I was a little kid. I was pretty much a little baby Casanova. Like, the Casanova. It works. Oh, there were these twin boys in kindergarten that I had a lot of fun with. And then my mom's best friend's son, I was in love with him. I was planning on marrying him, but he broke up with me because there was a girl in his class that he wanted to try dating, and I was just like, and we were 10 when that happened. We were 10, and I was still in love with him when I was 16, and I was just like, so crushed. But like, I got over it eventually. Oh, and there was this one guy in my preschool. I still remember his name, and he saved me from a bully. And there's a fun story in that one. I might tell it another time. And then there were the girls. I really liked this one girl in my first grade class, and the first girl I had a really huge crush on was in 4th grade, and she was so perfect. She looked like a queen. Like she just had these regal features, but she had like that ice cold regal demeanor, and I was really intimidated by her. I was just in my child's not versed in romance sort of way or in LGBT stuff sort of way, because back then guys were boyfriends and girls were girlfriends, but they weren't girlfriends, they were just friends, you know? But I just really wanted to be her friend, but I was just so intimidated, and so I'd admire her from across the room, and I was just and then there was this other girl I hated, but in sort of like oh my gosh, I'm going to reveal the depths of my fandoms, but if in Homestuck trash, but if I had a Kismesis crush, that would be it, because she was so perfect in everything, and she stole my spot in one of the school plays, because the teacher that liked me moved to a middle school, and then this other teacher came in who didn't know who or what I was at all, and just totally passed me over. I was pissed because I'd been in a leading role in every elementary school play before then, and just no, I was mad. And also I was gaining weight because of stress and a whole lot of other stuff, but there's that. She was perfect and smart and pretty, and screw her. And there were a couple other things in middle school, but they weren't that important. I was too obsessed with like bad things going on in my life to really be focused on potential romantic interests in middle school or high school. So nothing particularly interesting happened there. But that's all on like the romance side, and that's all pretty cut and dry. I'm like a very romantic, like, here's where people get confused, because I experience a lot of romantic attraction, but I'm not good at romance. It's a confusing thing, I understand. I'm terrible at romance, I have a lot of romantic feelings. But I never have romantic feelings for people who actually feel romantic feelings for me back. This is a problem. Something that I don't really experience are sexual feelings. And now that's something completely different, because there are people who will argue that I couldn't have had romantic feelings for people when I was in elementary school or the like, because I hadn't gone through puberty yet, and because they associate having romantic feelings for someone with having sexual feelings for someone. But romance and sex are completely separate things. This is something that has confused me a lot in my life, and I've spent a lot of time thinking about it and like parsing through, and so I'm like 95% sure where I stand on this, because I'm not a sexual person at all. I am somewhere on the A spectrum. Like, I am bi, but I'm also somewhere on the A spectrum. I'm just not sure where yet, because I don't know. I don't have enough data. I haven't actually been with a person I have been romantically interested in, and maybe if I was with a person I had a romantic interest in, I would have sexual feelings for them. Maybe. I don't know, because I've never been in that situation. But, so, let's go back to like middle school me, like 12, 13, around the time where we're like learning about sex and sexuality and all that sort of stuff. I didn't learn anything from my sex ed courses except like sexual diseases and abstinence. We had abstinence-only sex education. I had to look that stuff up myself. And when I did, I was like, holy shit, babies are parasites. That sounds awful. Do you see this diagram of how this woman's organs are getting shoved up into her lung space because of the room that the baby's taking up? Fuck that. Screw that. I don't want that to happen to me. Sex, all this stuff, that's disgusting. That's gross. I don't want any part of that. And so, like, from at that point, I had not even experienced any part of the LGBT community. I had not experienced, like, I didn't know that there was such a thing as an ace community, but I knew my English, and I knew that A meant not, and so I knew I was asexual. I was not sexual. I came up with that on my little 12-year-old, 13-year-old own. And that persisted, and I was comfortable with that. I was happy with that until I got into high school. And I started having my more romantic feelings again, and I was looking at people, and I'm just like, oh, I'm just appreciating them for artistic purposes. I'm just admiring that muscle structure, because I'm wondering how I would draw that. I like the way that the light glints off of that person's hair, and it's just for artistic purposes. And like at this point, like, and also here's another thing that confuses people. Ace people are not blind. Ace spectrum people can tell when another person is hot and can comment on another person's physical attractiveness without having sexual feelings for them. So that we got that clear. Okay, so going back to that. So being a confused young person who was starting to be introduced to the LGBT community and like all of that, at that point being like 16 and being like, holy shit, I actually do experience attraction to some people and I can appreciate how people look and everything. I guess that must mean I'm not asexual. If I am having romantic feelings for people, that must mean I am bisexual. And so when I came out to my friends when I was 16 on that, they were all just like, yeah, we were wondering when you'd figure that out. Okay, so about this thing. It was the most casual thing ever. I have been so lucky in my life to have good friends who are happy to accept me being bi and everything, and everyone's super chill with it, and then that's been one of the best things ever, because I am super comfortable with my bi-ness. it's the ace thing that gets me sometimes, because it's just been this constant thing, am I or am I not? And I don't know. But just I've been in several relationships where sex has been a topic that has been broached, and I was like, fuck no. I'm still a virgin, by the way, and that's not a bad thing. It's actually a really good thing in my case. I just don't know. I am definitely a biromantic, aspectrum sexual person. And that's all there is to say on the matter. Let's move on.